Witnesses recounted the dramatic scenes after 6 people, calling for the release of Israeli hostages in Gaza, were injured at an outdoor mall in Boulder, Colorado, by a man who police say used a makeshift flamethrower and hurled an incendiary device into a crowd. According to Associated Press, the FBI immediately described Sunday's violence as a targeted terror attack. The suspect, identified by the FBI as 45-year-old Mohamed Sabry Soliman, yelled, "Free Palestine," during the attack on the group of demonstrators, said Mark Michalek, the special agent in charge of the FBI's Denver field office. Soliman was arrested and taken to the hospital for treatment, but authorities didn't elaborate on his injuries. Lynn Segal, 72, was among about 20 people who gathered Sunday. They had finished their march in front of the courthouse when a rope of fire shot in front of her and then 2 big flares. She said the scene quickly turned chaotic as people worked to find water to put out flames and find help. Segal, who said she is Jewish on her father's side and has supported the Palestinians for more than 40 years, was concerned that she might be accused of helping the suspect because she was wearing a pro-Palestinian shirt. "There were people who were burning, I wanted to help," she said. "But I didn't want to be associated with the perpetrator." Tourist Alex Osanti said he heard screaming and crying, and saw the attacker holding Molotov cocktails.
It was very strange to just hear a crash on the ground of a bottle breaking, and then it sounded like a boom, and then people started yelling and screaming. But I saw fire, I saw people falling and screaming and crying and tripping, and I saw the attacker have a Molotov. He had 3 Molotov cocktails. One of them he threw inside of a group, and one lady lit on fire from head to toe. And then the other 4 people were also injured and in a fire, but not as bad as the first one. And then the attacker came out from the bushes and the trees the second time, and he threw another cocktail. And on the second one, he lit himself on fire accidentally. And I imagine it's accidentally. He seemed to have a bulletproof vest on, or some kind of vest, and then a shirt underneath it. And after he lit himself on fire, he took off the vest and the shirt, and he was shirtless. But he still had his Molotov cocktails in his hand, ready to use them, like ready to throw them and explode them on people.
These like shoots of fire, linear, about 20 feet long, spears of fire, 2 of them at least, came across right into the group about 15 feet from me, because I sit there and watch them, but I try to listen also to what they're talking about, because I am concerned about the hostages. With a Free Palestine shirt, I don't want to hang around there after that. Yeah. I know that automatically, and I'm sure the JCC is going to be up in arms, and this is going to divide this community all the more. And it's all to all of our detriment, because it will not end pleasantly. This person that did this act, that's beyond words also, like potentially killing like this whole group of people. That's unconscionable that happened, and that anyone would be elevated to that level of despair that they would do that.
Good for you.
Yeah, lifted that whole robot, put it in the truck.
Russia's state media outlet RURTR on Sunday aired footage of injured passengers from a train crash in the Bryansk region being taken to Moscow for medical treatment. According to Associated Press, Russian officials say explosions caused 2 bridges to collapse and derail 2 trains in western Russia. Authorities did not say what had caused the blasts. In one of the incidents, 7 people were killed and dozens were injured. Rescue workers cleared debris from both sites on Sunday, while some of those injured spoke to reporters as they were transported to the capital. The first bridge, in the Bryansk region on the border with Ukraine, collapsed on top of a passenger train on Saturday, causing the casualties. The train's driver was among those killed, state-run Russian Railways said. Hours later, officials said a second train derailed when the bridge beneath it collapsed in the nearby Kursk region, which also borders Ukraine. In that collapse, a freight train was thrown off its rails onto the road below as the explosion collapsed the bridge, local acting governor Alexander Kinstein said Sunday. The crash sparked a fire, but there were no casualties, he said. Russia's investigative committee, the country's top criminal investigation agency, said in a statement that explosions had caused the 2 bridges to collapse, but did not give further details. Several hours later, it edited the statement, which was posted on social media, to remove the words, explosions, but did not provide an explanation. The committee said that it would be investigating the incidents as potential acts of terrorism. In the past, some officials have accused pro-Ukrainian saboteurs of attacking Russia's railway infrastructure. The details surrounding such incidents, however, are limited and cannot be independently verified. Ukraine's military intelligence, known by the Ukrainian abbreviation GUR, said on Sunday that a Russian military freight train carrying food and fuel had been blown up on its way to Crimea. It did not claim the attack was carried out by GUR or mention the bridge collapses.
В каком состоянии сейчас находитесь?
Я нормально. Ребра немножко болят, а так нормально.
А во время ЧП в каком вагоне находились?
В 8-м.
В 8-м находились? Что помните? То есть это удар был? Как это произошло?
Ну, сильный удар просто. И потом света не было.
Давление мерил врач.